The full moon lunar eclipse happens at 23 degrees in Virgo with the south node, which is at 27 degrees, on March 13th, 14th, depending on where you are in the world. It's all about a karmic release, a culmination, an emotional release, and a partial revealing. As the eclipse obscures part of what's revealed, issues around our health, routines, work, small business, people you hire, our rental income, pets, organization, decluttering, communication, to-do lists, service workers, are just some of the topics that are covered by Virgo. A destiny can be fulfilled in your Virgo part of the sky, maybe an achievement of some kind within your community as well. And this eclipse does have a positive aspect. Uranus and Taurus is trining this eclipse, and Mars in Cancer is making a sextile to it. And although Saturn is opposing the lunar eclipse from Pisces, we have Mars trining Saturn, and the Sun is in Pisces as well. Mars is making a trine to the Sun. This could look like some ease of change and easy letting go of a karmic story, only to allow for a new beginning in the Virgo house of your chart, but one that you will be the initiator of with Mars here. It can be an emotional new beginning as well, as emotions are always involved because it is a lunar eclipse. The moon rules Cancer, and we have Mars in Cancer, but it's in a good flow to the moon at this time. There can be a deep feeling or sense of growth and change as well, as we also have Pluto sextiling the North Node and Pisces and trining the South Node at this eclipse. You can feel eerily in sync with life's destiny in the Pisces part of your sky at this time as well. So what does this look like for Taurus? Taurus, the eclipse in South Node makes a trine to you, and although the Pisces placements are opposing this moon, they sextile your sun, moon, or ascendant in a positive flow as well. This energy will be felt most for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising from 19 and 20 degrees and up. And you could be exploring hidden talents, hobbies, creating something behind the scenes in which you find a positive emotional release for, or you could be releasing old subconscious patterning, expressing your spirituality behind the scenes, like engaging in new forms of meditation, therapy, past life regression, where these types of things aren't always so obvious to the rest of the world. It's not something that we typically put on display. Our 4th, 8th, and 12th houses are very hidden houses, but they are also moksha or liberation houses. With this eclipse, you could be releasing patterns that free you that have hindered your progress and creativity. The 12th house, where you have Venus right now, your ascendant ruler at the moment, is in the most mysterious, hidden, psychic, and spiritual houses, but also one of the most creative of the 12 houses. If you are traveling long distance or foreign shores, you could meet a past life love for sure with Venus here, and it's in a past life house, or fall in love with the place you once lived in from another lifetime. I say travel because you have Mercury here in the 12th as well, currently with Venus. Venus will spend a prolonged period in this 12th house due to her retrograde. So in this 12th house of rest and seclusion until about March 27th, then she'll go back into your Pisces 11th house where it's more social, where you're networking at social events, fundraisers, soirees, things like that, like for humanitarian groups and social movements, friendship and networking for a while before Venus will move forward direct and then back again through this 12th house from April 30th through June 6th. And then she'll finally come back home to Taurus in her domicile in your first house. Don't worry, I'll list all these dates for you in the description box down below. You really could be diving deep into some communication or creative project, and it may be spiritual in nature, or it could be like some compassion project that you're working on, because Mars is in Cancer in your 3rd house, trining over to the Sun in empathetic Pisces in the 11th house of humanitarian work, nonprofit, the internet, work that benefits individuals who are marginalized in society. Mars rules your 12th house, but is currently spending a lot of time in that 3rd. So you could be retreating for a while to work on this project. Maybe you're trying to start a small business, especially if you're building a business with like a childhood friend or a sibling or family member, or maybe you're working on a book or putting together a podcast or something where you use your voice, or you're speaking, a film docu-series, local photography, YouTube series, something visual in nature maybe with Pisces. and your 12th house being highlighted for the next few months. You could also be building an astrology practice with Uranus on your ascendant, but making a sextile to Saturn, the builder, in the 11th house as well. Both Uranus and Saturn rule the 11th house, even though in traditional astrology they say that Saturn rules your 10th house, which would be Capricorn on the natural zodiac wheel, not for Taurus rising, so to speak. Hopefully I'm not confusing you too much. But Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius as well. And Aquarius, naturally on the zodiac wheel, represents the 11th house. Okay, anyway, on another note, you could be leaving something behind in this 5th house. And I'm sorry, the 11th house can represent astrology. Okay, moving on. On another note, you could be leaving something behind in this 5th house, but to create more joy in your life. For example, if there were like any difficulties with or for your children, if you have any, this could be a period where the hard times are released for them. And also, of course, for you in a smooth yet sudden way, as Uranus will trine this eclipse coming from your 1st house. So maybe you're a guiding light for them or you're helping them. They could be completing something here, or if age appropriate, they could be having children of their own, and that could be like a sudden surprise but happy news. I definitely feel there can be some positive change and emotional freedom for you, Taurus, at this time, with Uranus making a stabilizing sextile to Saturn and then trining this full moon eclipse. If you were having a hard time with a romantic partner, or you felt held back or stifled, there could also be a release, but this would only be for a new love to come in. And I'll note that though most likely will be a foreigner if it happens over the next few months with Venus in that 12th house, or it could be a love interest that you meet through the internet or while networking or through a friend group while participating in a fundraiser for a good cause, for example, or it could be somebody who starts off as a friend but becomes a lover, for example. Last but not least, if you do meet someone new, I don't think you'll be bringing them home quite yet. It may start out as like a hidden romance for whatever reason, with Venus in that 12th house on and off over the next few months. Or there could be like some distance between you and this person as well. I think too, if this isn't about someone else, this story could be about your own self-love and glow-up story here, like you're working on yourself behind the scenes, which with Venus here, I think you'll actually be enjoying this downtime of rest and seclusion and being away from like the public eye, or even doing some like minor cosmetic improvements. Nothing major here, or no surgery, please, as Venus retrogrades on March 1st and won't be out of shadow until May 16th. Venus is your ruler, so we have to pay careful attention to whatever is going on with her at the moment. But things like a new diet, that would be supported by this eclipse as well, because Virgo can represent like our health, our vitality, our body, what we eat, things like that. Or a new workout regime, maybe home workouts or something in your neighborhood, like indoor swimming, as we have Mars and Cancer for a while, but then Mars will go into Leo in the 4th. The new you glow up will be visible by the time Venus goes into domicile, your 1st house. By June 7th, she'll be back in strength. Mercury starts to retrograde in your 12th house on March 16th in Aries, and will go back into your 11th house. And then when direct again, will go back through your 12th before heading to your sign in May. There's so much personal planet activity here. Again, this could be pointing to you working on a creative project in isolation, hidden communications around projects or love, or healing through therapy and spirituality at this time. Maybe too, you might benefit from getting like an astrology reading, and this may be a good time to do so with Venus and Mercury in the 12th house there. Last but not least, with Pluto, the planet of transformation and change, freshly moved into that 10th house of career and visibility. And Pluto is also positively aspecting the lunar nodes at the time of this eclipse. Whatever is going on for you in that 5th house of creativity, luck, love, children, in your 11th house of hopes, dreams, wishes, internet, large groups of people, could look like you taking a dream or a wish to make a creative project your new reality when it comes to what you want to do for work or what you want to be recognized or known for. Maybe having a child as well is a part of that dream, or even becoming an astrologer or building your own internet-based business, or becoming part of a group that changes your life in some way. These are just a few ideas, Taurus. On March 29th, The partial solar eclipse at 9 degrees is just beautiful with no harsh aspects and is happening in your 12th house. This is wrapping up the Libra Aries eclipse cycle that began with the nodes moving in on July 2023. This is the last of the eclipses and is marking a powerful new beginning around your subconscious patterning, creative projects which are divinely inspired or that come to you suddenly or through dreams or meditation or downloads. You can have powerful spiritual growth at this time due to freeing yourself from limiting addictions or patterns or even emotions that you might not have been aware of but were brought to your attention. This beginning is tied to a smooth transition of your thoughts, your mind, your communication as well, because the ruler of Aries is Mars, and Mars is in Cancer, which rules emotions, but also your third house of mind and thoughts. Mars at the time of this eclipse is flowing in a nice way to Uranus in your first house, showing a sudden shift in a positive way or surprising good news to you that can come maybe via text, email, phone, any communication like venue, social media, etc. Maybe the good news is about a joint project that you're working on or have the potential to work on with a friend. There could be a goal being realized here. Maybe you're publishing or broadcasting something here, as Mars is also trining Saturn over in your 11th house of hopes, dreams, internet, windfalls, and Saturn rules your 9th house of publishing. So we think of publishing in like the old-fashioned ways, like some big New York City publishing house or something like that. But it's very different nowadays. You can be publishing an article that you wrote, self-publishing, for example, publishing on YouTube or a website, blogging, etc. The third house is a travel house as well, like local travel by car or short distance. But so is the 12th. They're actually both travel houses. And the 12 represents like travel to foreign shores, so it's much farther than just local travel, right? Maybe you'll be traveling for a spiritual retreat, an ashram, a yoga retreat, or just going somewhere that you've always wanted to go. Maybe you're making like a pilgrimage to Machu Picchu or something like that. Wouldn't that be nice? The way you make money can be changing at this time. Maybe you'll be letting go of an old job that you outgrew, and this could be happening now if it hasn't already, and if it doesn't show up right away, don't worry. This could happen over the next 6 months, and you could be letting go of this job to do something more creative or spiritual in nature, as Venus is active during this eclipse, and she rules your 6th house, workaday house, and she's kind of weaving and flowing between that 11th house and the 12th, and then sextiling Pluto in your 10th. So you could meet a powerful person that helps you change your career or introduces you to some fortuitous new opportunity, or the connection to this powerful person, which might result in a romance after all, because it is Pluto and Venus. I'm just saying, it could come through a group also that you're a part of. There may also just be a deepening of bonds in your social circles as well if you're not looking for love. But sometimes love finds you even when you're not looking. In fact, that seems to be always when it finds us. All right. So you are going and growing through significant life changes, Taurus, and it may not always be visible on the outside, but it's there for sure. And it can't be denied with these transits, especially having like the outer planets transiting important angles for you, like Uranus in the first house, Pluto moving into your 10th of career, which will transform what you do and how you're known for over the next several years. This solar eclipse will echo out for the next 6 months, giving you time to make the changes that you want to make in that 12th house area. And it may be through that 3rd and 4th house of Cancer and Leo that you're able to make these changes. And I say that because Mars rules your 12th, but will spend and has spent a lot of time in your 3rd and 4th house, showing me you've had a lot of activity around like home, property, family, thoughts, local travel, small business, communication via apps, social media, etc., but also spirituality, creativity, or trying to build a home-based business, for example, and also bringing 12th house matters out to light, like healing, letting go of debt, resting, film projects, visually based work, working on a book or like a book with an illustrator, or a spiritual project, or communications, a marketing campaign, just to name a few examples to kind of get some things firing off here in regard to what could be going on. A childhood friend or family member or someone in your community can also be a catalyst for some big changes for you at this time and over the next few months. It's a beautiful way to end the month and quite positive for you, I must say, Taurus. Take care, and we'll see you in April.